5 years of failed pregnancies had nearly broken Claire and Michael. When their miracle baby finally arrived, the delivery room's joy turned to stunned silence. Their newborn daughter's appearance defied explanation, and Michael's face darkened with fury. Without a word, he walked out of the hospital, leaving his wife clutching their baby, tears streaming down her face. The truth behind this baby's appearance will leave you questioning everything you believe. But before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. Claire stared at the negative pregnancy test, her heart sinking. It was the 5th one this month. She tossed it in the trash, joining countless others that had crushed her hopes over the past 5 years. Her husband Michael found her sitting on the bathroom floor, tears streaming down her face. He didn't need to ask. He knew. Another month, another disappointment. The journey to parenthood had consumed their lives. Their home had become a shrine to failed attempts, fertility tracking apps, precisely timed calendars, and cabinets full of supplements promising miracle results. Their friends had stopped asking when they would have children, seeing the pain that flashed across their faces at the question. They had tried everything modern medicine could offer. Multiple rounds of IVF had left Claire's arms bruised from daily hormone injections. Each treatment drained their savings and their spirits. The last specialist had suggested they consider other options. Adoption, perhaps, or accepting a life without children. But neither Claire nor Michael was ready to give up on their dream. That's when fate stepped in. During a coffee break at work, Michael overheard a colleague talking about Dr. Lu, an elderly Chinese medicine practitioner who had helped several couples conceive when modern medicine had failed. The colleague spoke of a friend who had tried for 7 years without success, then conceived within months of starting Dr. Lu's treatment. Michael was skeptical. Alternative medicine had never been his thing. He was a numbers guy, an accountant who believed in what he could prove on paper. But when he mentioned Dr. Lu to Claire that evening, he saw a spark of hope in her eyes that had been missing for months. Finding Dr. Lu's clinic wasn't easy. It was tucked away in a quiet corner of Chinatown, up a narrow staircase lined with potted herbs. Instead of the sterile white walls of a modern medical facility, they found themselves in a dimly lit room filled with the aromatic scent of herbs. Ancient scrolls depicting human anatomy hung on the walls, and glass jars filled with mysterious ingredients lined wooden shelves. Dr. Lu himself moved with quiet confidence, his weathered hands gentle as he examined Claire's pulse points. He asked detailed questions about their fertility journey, but also questions no other doctor had, about their sleep patterns, their digestion, their stress levels, even the temperature of the foods they ate. His approach was different from anything they'd tried before. He explained how he would combine traditional Chinese medicine with their ongoing fertility treatments. The body, he told them, was like a garden. Modern medicine could plant the seeds, but traditional methods could make the soil more fertile. Despite her initial nervousness about the needles, Claire found herself looking forward to these appointments. The clinic became a sanctuary from the pressure of trying to conceive. Dr. Lu worked with practiced precision, placing each needle along specific points on her body. During the sessions, he would tell them stories of other couples he had helped, speaking of the delicate balance between ancient wisdom and modern science. Between sessions, Claire followed Dr. Lu's strict regimen. Every morning and evening, she drank specially blended herbal teas and took supplements he prepared personally. Dr. Lu also gave them lifestyle recommendations, avoiding cold foods, practicing specific breathing exercises, and making time for meditation. Michael surprised Claire by joining her in these practices, though he would never admit to his colleagues that he was meditating every morning before work. Then, after months of combined treatments, everything changed. Claire's hands shook as she held up the pregnancy test. 2 pink lines, clear as day. She blinked, then looked again. The lines remained. She called out to Michael, her voice trembling. When he saw the result, he swept her up in his arms, both of them crying tears of joy. The pregnancy proceeded smoothly. Their home transformed as they prepared for their miracle baby. The spare room became a nursery filled with soft colors and tender hopes. Dr. Lu beamed with quiet pride at their final appointment, telling them their child would be special. A bridge between worlds, he said cryptically. but nothing could have prepared them for what happened in the delivery room. The moment their daughter emerged, an unsettling silence fell over the medical staff. The nurse hesitated before placing the baby in Claire's arms. When Claire looked down at her newborn daughter, confusion clouded her joy. The baby's rich, dark skin tone was nothing like Claire's fair complexion or Michael's pale features. But then the baby opened her eyes and Claire gasped. Those eyes, they were unmistakably Michael's. The same unusual shade of hazel with distinctive gold flecks that had made her fall in love with him years ago. The contrast was striking. Her dark skin made those unique eyes even more prominent. A mirror image of her father's gaze set in an unexpected canvas. Michael's face transformed from wonder to disbelief, then to rage. Claire recognized the thoughts racing through his mind before he even spoke. She reached for his hand, trying to explain, to make sense of what they were seeing. She pointed out the baby's eyes, but Michael was beyond seeing any resemblance. He pulled away, his face a mask of betrayal. Without a word, he walked out of the hospital room, leaving Claire alone with their inexplicable miracle. The days that followed were a blur of tears and unanswered phone calls. Michael wouldn't listen to Claire's desperate attempts to explain that she had never been unfaithful. Their friends and family were divided, some supporting Claire, others disappearing from their lives entirely. Michael filed for divorce, cutting all ties with the life they had built together. Claire named their daughter Hope, a reminder to herself that someday, somehow, the truth would come to light. Every time she looked into her daughter's eyes, she saw Michael. Those distinctive hazel eyes with golden flecks haunted her, a daily reminder of what they had lost. Friends who met Hope would often comment on her eyes, asking who in Claire's family had such unique eyes. Each time, Claire's heart would clench, knowing they were looking at a piece of Michael. She threw herself into building a new life, working remotely while caring for Hope. The little girl grew into a bright, loving toddler, bringing joy even to Claire's darkest days. As Hope grew, more of Michael's features emerged, creating an extraordinary blend of contrasts. Her dark skin glowed with health, but those hazel eyes with their distinctive gold flecks were pure Michael. She had his mannerisms too, the way she scrunched her nose when concentrating, her infectious laugh that filled a room, even the dimple in her left cheek when she smiled. These unmistakable similarities set against her different skin tone only deepened Claire's confusion and pain. How could a child look so much like her father in every way except one? 3 years passed. Michael had moved to another city, starting fresh without looking back. Then an unexpected email arrived from Dr. Sarah Zhang, a genetic researcher specializing in the intersection of traditional Chinese medicine and modern fertility treatments. Dr. Zhang's message made Claire's heart race. She wasn't alone. There were other cases like hers. Couples who had combined traditional Chinese treatments with modern fertility procedures, only to have babies with unexpected genetic expressions. The researcher had been tracking these cases across different clinics, building a database of similar instances. The researcher explained that she had discovered something remarkable. The specific combination of acupuncture points and herbs used in traditional fertility treatments could interact with modern procedures in unprecedented ways. These interactions could activate dormant genes, genetic information that had been silent for generations. Claire agreed to participate in Dr. Zhang's study. When the DNA results came back, they confirmed what seemed impossible. Michael was Hope's biological father. The unique combination of treatments had awakened ancestral genes that had been dormant in Michael's DNA for generations. With trembling hands, Claire forwarded the results to Michael, along with recent photos of Hope. She knew he would see it now, all the features they shared, especially those distinctive eyes that had tormented her for 3 years. His initial response was dismissal. It couldn't be true. But as he stared at the photos of Hope, doubt began to creep in. Those eyes looking back at him from the photographs were unmistakably his own. The same unusual hazel shade with golden flecks that he saw every morning in the mirror. Her dark skin made the resemblance even more striking, those familiar eyes standing out against her rich complexion. The dimple, the laugh captured in the pictures, even the way she held her head. It was like looking at a younger version of his sister, just with different coloring. The evidence was there in every photo. This was his child, despite the unexpected complexion. As Michael reviewed the evidence and met with Dr. Zhang, the truth he had refused to face for 3 years became undeniable. He had abandoned his wife and daughter because of a medical phenomenon that bridged 2 worlds of healing. The weight of his mistake crushed him. He reached out to Claire, asking to meet Hope, but years of pain and betrayal stood between them. Claire struggled with the decision. The trust they once shared was broken. While science had provided answers, it couldn't erase the memories of lonely nights, of explaining to Hope why she didn't have a daddy like other kids, of rebuilding their lives from scratch. As they carefully began to reconnect, both Claire and Michael knew they would never be the same people who had walked into Dr. Liu's clinic years ago. Their journey had changed them fundamentally, and between them stood Hope, their beautiful daughter who embodied both the mysteries of ancient wisdom and the wonders of modern science. Her father's eyes looking out at a world where nothing was quite as simple as it seemed. What would you do if you were Claire? Could you forgive someone who doubted you so completely, even in the face of scientific proof?